Hello YouTubers, Alaska Prepper here. Ladies and gentlemen, this is definitely breaking news. German retailers to increase food prices by 20 to 50% tomorrow on Monday. I hope that you all stocked up. I hope that the last video that I put out yesterday, where I told you that because Russia was going to stop the flow of natural gas to Germany and many of the EU nations because they did not want to pay in rubles, that was going to have implications that would cause inflation in the price of things to skyrocket. I just didn't think it was going to happen over the weekend. Now, to put this in perspective a bit, 50% inflation month over month is the definition of hyperinflation. So here, Germany, in a 2-day span over the weekend, they're going to be waking up on Monday paying 20 to 50% more just for food. Just days after Germany reported the highest inflation in a generation, giving locals a distinctly unpleasant déjà vu feeling even before the Russian invasion of Ukraine broke what few supply chains remain and sent prices even higher into the stratosphere. Incredible. This period in time, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to be talking about 20, 30, 40 years ago. For example, from now, I mean, not ago, from now. For example, those that are still survivors of the Great Depression here in the United States, they still talk about that time. That time defined who they were. 20, 30, 40 years from now, those of us that are still here, I probably won't be, we will be talking about this time in history that we are getting through. And guess what? Those that are the best prepared are the ones that are going to be able to get through this the better, better than others. Goodness gracious, I cannot believe waking up from one day to another and seeing prices of food, something that you need, go up by 20 to 50%. Let's read on here. On Monday, Germany will take one step toward a return of the dreaded Weimar hyperinflation, when according to the German Retail Association, consumers should prepare for another wave of price hikes for everyday goods and groceries, with Reuters reporting that prices at German retail chains will explode between 20 to 50%. Ladies and gentlemen, I feel terrible for the German people because of this. And I've said several times that those countries outside of the border are going to feel the pain the most first. But don't think that that's not coming to a city or a country near you. And the HDE president said that with Russia's invasion hitting economies and the supply chain harder, yet another series of price increases is on the horizon. The second wave of price increase is coming, and it will certainly be in the double figures. According to the president of the trade association, the first retail chains have already started to raise their prices in Germany, and the rest are likely to follow. Now, this is what happens, ladies and gentlemen, when a country exports production and exports mainly inflation. And I'm talking about that mainly here in the United States. If you don't think we're going to see these price increases in the United States, you're going to have a rude awakening, ladies and gentlemen. In the U.S., we export mainly inflation. How can I say that confidently? Look at our deficit year over year. Last year, we had a deficit, I believe it was over $1 trillion. What does that mean? That means that we exported more debt than goods. That's exactly what that means. So we're very good at exporting inflation. And here, this tweet shows exactly how much more you're going to be paying for everything that it takes for you to make a sandwich. Now, for example, I don't know what the name of these things are, but this here looks like cheese, 4.7% more. This looks like eggs, 16% more. This looks like a cucumber, 30% more. Butter, 20% more. Let's see, bread, 7% more. Tomatoes, 27% more. Lettuce, 17% more. Since the start of the Ukraine war, there have been jumps in purchase prices that we have not experienced before, a spokesperson for Aldi Nord announced on Friday. A fortnight ago, Aldi raised the prices of about 160 items, and a week later, 20 more items became more expensive. Other supermarket brands quickly followed suit. In February, Germany's cost of living rose at the highest level since reunification, with everyday goods increasing by an average of 7.3%. The Federal Statistics Agency, the Statis, said the jump from January's figure of 5% to February's 7% reflected the impact of Russia's invasion of Ukraine, which has sent the price of oil and gas soaring. According to a recently published survey by the LFO Institute, almost all companies in Germany's food retail sector are planning price increases. How many times have we talked about this? How many times have we said, listen, if you want to invest in a good stock, stock up your pantry? This is a perfect example. And unfortunately, it may be too late for a lot of Germans, all right? But ladies and gentlemen, we can always learn from these situations. So if we haven't had really big price increases in the country that you live in already, and I'm talking about like 20 to 50% overnight, as Germany here is going to experience, then take advantage of the time that you have to go out there and get prepared. Get prepared, ladies and gentlemen. It's not going to hurt anything. If anything, it's going to save you money in the long run. I'm not talking about getting prepared for the end of the world. I'm not talking about doomsday. I'm not talking about an apocalypse. I'm talking about getting prepared so that you can preserve some of your purchasing power and the things that you're going to need, that you know that you are going to need, that your family will need. That way you don't have to work twice as much tomorrow to get the same amount of stuff that you could get today. It just makes sense. I'll finish it off with these last two short paragraphs, ladies and gentlemen. I'll go ahead and leave a link to this article in a pinned comment so that you can revisit it if you like. As previously noted, German supermarkets have even started limiting the purchase of cooking oils and flour in particular to prevent a mad rush to stock up on items that customers believe will run out. In other words, limit the sale of those products which are in highest demand, also known as a brilliant strategy. Incredible. What's that called, ladies and gentlemen? It's called rationing. And now that everyday product prices are about to surge as much as 50%, it will be interesting to watch how much longer the German population will condone a NATO stance that has been seeking to stoke and perpetuate the war in Ukraine. Ladies and gentlemen, sanctions only hurt the people. All right? And I think that we are figuring this out as we go. Sanctions only hurt the people. Number one, there's nothing wrong with being prepared. Number two, if you want to conserve your purchasing power, make sure that you have all of those things that you need now in quantity. This is not going to get any better anytime soon. And ladies and gentlemen, a 50% increase in the price of things that you need to live on an everyday basis is going to affect you, the average working person, a heck of a lot more than it will someone who's a multi-millionaire, someone who owns a corporation, someone who's a billionaire, and more importantly, it will affect you a lot more than it will affect any of these politicians that are supposedly there to serve us. But instead, they serve themselves. Having said that, thank you very much for joining in. I have a video tomorrow that I was planning on doing before this one. This one to me is breaking, but I have a video coming out tomorrow, ladies and gentlemen, that you need to watch. This is a very important video that I'm putting out tomorrow that you need to see. That way you can tell where it is that we are headed, not only as a nation, but as a world. And we still have time to protect ourselves. So be on the lookout for that video tomorrow. I haven't worked on it yet, but I will work on it tomorrow morning and hopefully have it out by about noon or so my time here in Alaska. Having said that, I truly do hope that you have a great week. Prepare, ladies and gentlemen. All right? Things are starting to get real. So prepare. God bless you all. Ladies and gentlemen, I understand that not everyone is in the part of their preparedness plan where they should be storing long-term freeze-dried food. But if you are, take a look at Nutrient Survival. I stand behind this food because it is the most nutrient-dense food in the market. It tastes great, they have outstanding customer service, and the company is run by great people that I call my friends. You're not going to find a more nutrient-dense food that tastes good and is reasonably priced when compared to other major brands. I wouldn't stand behind Nutrient Survival if I didn't personally use it and love it. So feed your freedom with Nutrient Survival.